Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a Sézane review and styling video, sharing with you some goodies from the spring collection. In today's review, I'm sharing with you these items that I have purchased myself, and I want to break down basically whether it was worth it and what I think about the overall quality as well as versatility. My review videos tend to be quite balanced. I share with you what I love and then also some of the things that I feel like they could have done better, whether that's to do with fit, fabric, or practicality. For your reference, I am 160 centimeters or 5'3", not very tall, so you'll also be able to see how all their clothing fits on my height. If there is anything odd about sizing or fits, I'll always mention it in the video, but if it runs more or less true to size, I will put that information in the description box, and you can refer to that as we go, or if there was anything that caught your eye. Let's start off today with something extremely classic. We've got a striped top. It's 100% cotton and it's in this royal blue and white combination. We've also got some very cute tortoiseshell buttons on the sleeve. First thing I noticed when I put this top on, and I was genuinely surprised by this, is that the sleeves fit me extremely well. If it fits too long, it honestly looks really awkward. Whereas this one fits perfect. If anything, it's actually a little bit on the shorter side. So this is where, if you're petite, you will love how this fits. If you are taller, you might be a bit annoyed at how short this is. And I can see how it would become more of a crop sleeve, which might not be the most versatile. Not surprisingly, the cotton quality is nice. I mean, it's cotton, so there's not a ton I'm looking for, but it does feel comfortable and nice. We've also got a slight boat neck. Nothing too extreme or crazy, but just a little bit. Honestly speaking, these are the kind of tops that you can buy almost anywhere. I was specifically drawn to this one because of the chunkier stripes. They're wide stripes that make a statement. I also love the vibrancy of the blue color, and I also thought the details along the sleeve was a nice touch. If you're looking for a high quality Breton top, don't feel like you have to get it at Sézane. I think that a lot of brands do it well for less. But if you happen to be looking for these details, I do really like this one, and I've worn it probably about 4 or 5 times since owning it. In every Sézane drop, there's always a couple of statement items that catch my eye. This time round, it was this dress. When I saw it on the model, I just gasped because I loved the way it looked. So this one I've got some mixed opinions over. So should we start with the fabric? 80% cotton and then rest is synthetic. Cotton feels like a good choice for this dress because it's short sleeved. So if you were to make it from wool, it would be a bit too heavy, whereas the cotton is quite nice. I'm always questioning why brands use the fabrics they've chosen, whether it was to cut costs or whether it was intentional. And I do feel like the polyamide probably just gives this a little bit more stretch, a little bit more strength for daily wear. On my height, 160 centimeters, 5'3", I would say that this is almost full length. It just shows basically the very bottom of my ankles. So ideally, I would say this dress is for anyone 5'3", 5'4", and above. And I do think that the length will be a little bit better. It does have really beautiful drape and movement. You know when the fabric just moves around you really gracefully and then you feel more graceful? It's one of those dresses. The color combination of this is a cream and raspberry red. Something to consider with a horizontal stripe is that it can be slightly visually widening just because we're kind of emphasizing the width all over. When I was playing around this dress, trying to style it in different ways, to be honest, I feel like it is a little bit limited. Most of the time, because there's so much going on, I would just pair up some simple accessories and there's my outfit. And then other times, if I layer, it will be pretty simple sweaters, sweatshirts over the top to try and tone down this dress for a more casual setting. You can also change up the neckline, so opening it, closing it, for a little bit of a difference in look. Ultimately, this is a beautiful dress, but I just don't think it's versatile enough for me to keep. I much prefer a dress these days that is a little bit more simple, so I can do lots of things to it to style it in different ways. And this one is a bit limited in versatility. I've got 2 red sweaters to talk about. This first one is a lighter weight layering piece, so for your base layer. And then we've also got this really stunning cardigan. Why don't we start with the lighter one first? First thing first is that this is a viscose polyester blend. Predominantly viscose, and I have a sweater in bright blue that is made from the same fabric. So ultimately, that sweater in this fabric has been really comfortable, really practical for me, but of course it's not necessarily what we want to splurge on in our wardrobe. One of the good things about this fabric over, for example, a merino wool, is that it does tend to hug the body a little bit more. These are very stretchy, it's more figure hugging, and it does manage to retain that shape quite well. A pro is also that it's very smooth, it's not going to be irritating or itchy on the skin. The downside is obviously that it's probably a little bit too much to pay for this type of material at Sézane, and then also it's just not the nicest, most luxurious. When it comes to the style of this, I like it. I thought I was going to like it more, but when I wear it, it doesn't feel that special. I think that the neckline is quite thin and delicate, so I always talk about really enjoying a slightly thicker neckband, and this style doesn't have it. Not a con, just a personal thing. It makes me like this top a little bit less. So ultimately, you guessed it, I'm not keeping this piece. I find it a little bit underwhelming, and for this price, I would much rather spend on one of their 100% merino knits. They do these from time to time, and they are so much nicer and like worth spending on compared to something like this. The cardigan, on the other hand, I fell in love with the moment I saw it. The lace detail on the neckline and the button band is just incredible, and it just makes this piece feel so feminine and so special. This is one of Sézane's fluffy mohair blend cardigans, and I do know from talking to you guys that a lot of you guys find this fabric irritating. So if you have sensitive skin, I would really never recommend the mohair alpaca knits. So as someone who doesn't have sensitive skin, this is something I am keeping because I just love the style so much. But I did want to make the note that if you do have sensitive skin, don't get this because you'll find it too scratchy. I love almost everything about the style and also the fit. It sits on me at the perfect length. It's neither too cropped nor is it too long, so it just means that it tucks really comfortably in, but I can also just leave it out, not tuck it, and it still hits at a pretty good length. I've styled this in so many ways already, and this shade of red I also love. It's neither too cool nor too warm. It kind of really sits in that true red category. It sits in Sézane's midway cardigan category, not their like ultra thick ones just for winter. This is something you can definitely wear throughout the transitional season. One of the surprising things in today's video is that I actually have quite a few skirts and bottoms to share. Usually Sézane skirts are okay, but their shorts and trousers don't really work out for me. I think mostly due to height, but I'm excited to share with you these ones that are actually really lovely. Some of these skirts are in styles that they seem to often do, and I feel like every season they might just make a few updates or change out the fabric. One of the skirts that really caught my eye in the spring collection is this black midi skirt. It's made from a cotton linen blend, and it's a heavyweight material. So don't think like cotton t-shirt, lightweight. Think structured and very heavyweight. What I love about the button design is that it makes it really easy to transition this skirt from work to play. So obviously for work, you can do up all the buttons. You can maybe leave one undone, so like there's a bit more freedom of movement. And then for play, you can definitely undo more of the buttons. And then even for a casual setting, undoing a few more buttons just gives you more like range of motion. So I think this skirt is super versatile with this design. With all of my really simple pieces, I pay a lot of attention to like all the details because there aren't that many. But I also like that we've got some seams running down the skirt on the front and back, and because they're vertical seams, it just makes this type of skirt a little bit more elongating and flattering. I keep mentioning my height throughout, but it's always so exciting to me when a skirt or trouser fits perfect, and I truly feel like if you are petite, this skirt is amazing because it will just hit you at the perfect length without having to go to a tailor. For this skirt, I decided to size up. I'm usually between 2 and 4 or 34, 36, and the larger size fits me perfectly. So in between sizes, definitely go up. While I do have upper black skirts in my wardrobe, the skirts I own tend to be a little bit more floaty, lightweight, whereas this one is really quite stiff and structured, but it's also kind of figure hugging and just a completely different silhouette. I'm really happy with how this skirt looks and feels, and I especially recommend it for workwear. Let's talk about completely different style. This is the Sézane Sandy skirt. So I actually own this in the black floral. I really like that skirt. I get lots of wear from it. And now I'm so happy to also have it in the cream. Or rather, it's more of a light yellow. This skirt is the exact opposite because everything about it is very fluid, drapey. It's more lightweight. And this is a skirt that I think looks very nice for work, but also for play. What I like about this skirt is that it's very simple, but it's well made. And I've had a few situations where I purchased skirts like this, and I wasn't happy with the waistband because the way they sewn it together on the inside just made it really messy, and there was like a little bit of like lumpiness on the waistband, which I find very unflattering. For this skirt, you can see that's really really clean, really neat, and that's honestly all I'm looking for. If you're looking for a bias skirt, I do really love the Sandy, and I do want to address the fabric. So these are like recycled polyester fabrics, which is definitely not my favorite, but something I do realistically and practically appreciate is that when I'm wearing this throughout the day, I don't always have to worry about creasing. Whereas with my silk skirts, when I'm wearing them, I know that the moment I sit down, there's gonna be creases at the back, and they're very visible with light colored skirts. Whereas I really don't have to worry with this fabric and style. The fabric of this skirt also has a good weight to it. With a lot of my silk skirts, they tend to be extremely lightweight. This one has a little bit more weight to the fabric, so it actually makes it drape quite well. It looks really nice with movement, and obviously with underwear and what I'm wearing inside, I also feel like it's a little bit more concealing compared to something very thin silk. There are so many fabrics and colors to choose from. As we go darker in their color ranges, I find these tend to be less fussy, easier to wear, more opaque, and if I was looking for workwear, I would definitely go darker. And then the final skirt I wanted to share is this pleated skirt. So right off, the first thing you need to know about a pleated skirt is that these are always made from synthetics. Because if it was made in cotton or a natural fiber, you would basically have to re-pleat it every time you wore it for the fabric to hold on to the pleats. Whereas synthetic fabrics can actually hold on to them and keep the pleats in place. I've had really good luck with my Sézane skirts in this order. It's not always like this, but I want to explain what I think sets this one apart from some alternatives that I've tried on. This skirt has a lightweight fabric and it's very fluid. So what it means is that instead of having that very structured, slightly crunchy feel, it just drapes and sits on the body in a much more elegant way. Something I had from Scotch and Soda a few years back, which was not even like an affordable alternative. The reason I really didn't like that one is that the fabric was just so synthetic and crunchy. What I like about this is that it doesn't have that crunchy synthetic feeling. It feels and looks very natural. And that really makes all the difference, even when we're looking at technically the same composition. It's got a button closure at the top. There's something about that button that makes the skirt feel quite secure on. And even if the tie was to undo, you know, I still had the button closing it up. So that's just a nice touch. Those were all the things I liked, but let me share with you what I wish maybe was different. I think the first thing is that I would have loved to see it just like a little bit shorter. I know that of course there are lots of people taller than me, in which case it would work better. But just for myself, I would prefer it slightly shorter. So what I'll do sometimes is that I'll actually roll down the waistband once. It does mean that you can see the button, which is a little bit of an eyesore, but it doesn't bother me and it just makes the skirt a better length. If I'm just wearing a small heel, then it's no longer really a problem. So I would say that this skirt is for anyone who's 5'3", 5'4", and above. If you're under 5'3", I think it will be a bit long, unfortunately. I've been really questioning my wardrobe recently and thinking about practicality. I have a lot of long sleeve voluminous blouses that are lightweight. Even though they're lightweight, that amount of volume is not the nicest to wear in the hot summer. So I've been wanting to focus on short sleeve pieces as opposed to always just getting long sleeves. We'll start with this white blouse. This one is a short sleeve. It's more boxy, slightly cropped, and I've worn it quite a few times already this summer. So obviously work for spring, but summer as well. It's got this incredible lace detailing around the neckline and yoke, and then kind of goes down the button bands on the sleeves as well. So just incredible detail on this top. This is 100% cotton, so easy to wear, easy to care for. I machine wash them, and after I give it like a good steam or press, it comes out great. Compared to other cotton blouses like this that I own, this one is a little bit more structured. So the cotton material is more on the opaque side. It's got a certain like shape and structure to it, as opposed to it being very lightweight, flimsy, thin. That is a look, by the way, and I love that look, but this is just something a little bit different. In terms of the fabric. I think I'll actually wear this top today after filming, and it's just one of those easy grab and go pieces, but I always feel very put together in it. The other short sleeve blouse I've had for a while now is this metallic purple one. This one is so incredibly fun, and this is something that I got for evening wear or for like events, for anything more dressy as opposed to everyday. I love the color. It is more of like a dark, cool purple, but when I have it in the sun, I think it gives a slightly warmer glow. Maybe like slightly magenta, and I really love the depth of color that comes with this metallic. If you look up close, you can definitely see like quite a bit of texture going on, and it just makes it feel very special. The material of this is quite comfortable once it's on me, but like if I'm just touching the fabric, I wouldn't say it's particularly soft. It's also not scratchy, it's just got that slight roughness to it. When it's on me, I've never noticed any kind of itchiness though. It's just not like the softest fabric. We've got 3 buttons on the left shoulder as a bit of an accent, slightly longer short sleeves. It's quite boxy, so very flowy, very drapey, and you can definitely size down in this if you're like slightly less oversized. This is more of a going out, dinner, at night kind of item. So what I've been doing lately is that I have been steam cleaning it. So after I wear it every time, I'll give it a good steam. I'll kind of let it air out outside, and it's been good so far. I'm a little bit worried to hand wash this, to be honest. I'm gonna try it and I'll take a photo to show you the outcome, because I don't want to recommend anyone anything that has to be dry clean only when it's not like proper formal event wear. So I'll do a little update here on how that goes. I just want to give the quickest update. It came out looking perfect from hand washing. I was a little bit worried that there was some puckering of the seams, but no, I think it's just a little bit of wrinkling and everything is looking perfect. And then finally, to wrap up today's video, we've got the Emilio trouser. I actually own these trousers in a wool fabric for winter, but I wanted something that was maybe more transitional appropriate. This one is predominantly cotton and it's got some linen in there as well. This is the same fabric as the black skirt I showed earlier. It's extremely heavyweight and it's not like a lightweight cotton linen. It's definitely got thickness and structure to it. So it's good for 3 seasons of the year, but I wouldn't wear this in summer. This is the only pant from Sézane that is very petite friendly. So if you're 5'3", 160 centimeters like me, they fit extremely well. The design details I really like are, of course, the color. It's the most gorgeous warm brown tone, feels very cozy and rich in color. I love the tortoiseshell buttons and the pockets at the front. I think it adds like a cute playful touch. I also like the stitched seam running down the front of the leg. It's stitched in, so you don't have to worry about it going away, and it just creates more elongation. And then another upside I forgot to mention is that it's got incredible texture. So if you look up close, you can really see the linen in the fabric and it looks very luxurious. Something I always do when I'm unboxing an item is that I turn the garment inside out just to take a quick look at what's happening. So you can see just how neat the interior of this pant is. If you don't normally do this, let me just tell you that a lot of pants do not look like this on the inside. There are loose seams everywhere, and I love how clean this one looks. The construction just looks so nice, but more importantly, when you're wearing the pant, it also looks very smooth and flat around the waistline, and it makes it more flattering as well. The other thing that I feel like is a con is that I'm often looking for the pockets in this pant, and then I realize like we don't have any. We've got the front pockets, but I'll never like put my hands like this into the front of my pants. It's very comforting for me to have like side pockets just so my hands go somewhere. You don't really have the functional pockets here, so I do think that is a downside. I'm usually in between sizes, and again, I sized up. I always find that I do size up in Sézane bottoms because they run about half a size to 1 size small across most of their styles. So that was my Sézane review. If you enjoyed today's video, I would love for you to go subscribe to my channel. I am always sharing Sézane reviews and updates across basically all of my videos. If you'd like to see these pieces styled in more ways, check out my Instagram. I have tons more outfits styling these pieces. Let me know in the comments if you picked up anything from the collection and what did you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next one. Bye!